Okay, so what we have here is an update on how the Aston currently stands. In one of the last videos I had the engine running and towards the end it started screaming. The screaming noise came from the water pump, or more to the point the fan belt, because the water pump itself wasn't turning. The water pump sits here. Oh, try and get my hand out of the light. Water pump sits here and the bearings inside it were in a somewhat shocking state, as I will show you now. So that's the guts of the water pump housing. That's what the fan attaches to. That's the spindle. There should be two of those and an impeller, but that was one of the bearings. That was the state of that one. And that one there refused to come out. More to the point, the circlip was completely corroded into the groove. Groove being, how can I do this? Right down the back there. Seized in place, and the only way to take it apart was to put the die grinder on it. First I had to dismantle the bearing. Got the guts out of that, so the balls and the centre race. Lots of congealed grease and horribleness. And then I had to cut the race and take the outer race, take that out piece by piece. And once I got that out, I was able to then start work on this. That bit snapped off, so I had those two bits locked into the housing and refusing to come out. After a huge amount of work with a pick, I eventually managed to persuade them. Well, I had to grind an extra groove in the middle to give them a bit more give. I eventually got there. The gasket semi-survived but is beyond use, so a new one of those is on order. New pair of bearings are on order. That spindle, where the seal sits, that thing there, is corroded beyond use. That is a scrap spindle. So anyway, the bits are on order. When they arrive, I'll put it all back together. And hopefully we'll have a running Aston once again. I haven't bothered to put the plug leads into this tube here. This thing here is meant to actually lay it all nicely, lay them out nicely, but well, since the car needs to be completely revamped from the ground up, that can be part of the final build process. But as you can see, it's in a bit of a state, but at least it runs nicely. We've got oil pressure, we've got a good solid 55 psi before it actually fires on turnover. The dynamo, this here was seized before, but as you can see that is now spinning freely. So hopefully everything's tickety-boo for the car to go back together and fire up again.